Ciao friends, my name is Joey. I'm so glad you're here. This is my second month getting my subscription from Adornable Elements Beads of the Month Club, and I am loving this. If you've been on my channel before, this is going to be repetitive, but I always say that if you're not a bead weaver, if you're not a person that is what you do, I think sometimes we overlook the power of seed beads in our designs. I don't, however. I love seed beads. I think they're amazing. I'm not an expert bead weaver. I do a little bit of it. I do a little bit of everything because of so many years of making jewelry. But the Beads of the Month Club is really amazing. There are 6 different clubs. You can choose from 11O Rocaille seed beads. You can choose from 11O Delicas, which is what I got today. There are gemstone clubs. There is a 2-hole club. There's the hot and trendy, which is really cool if you want to keep up with new shapes and finishes on the beads. And there's fire polished beads of the month. If you can't decide which club you would like to receive from Adornable Elements every month, you can do a rotating club, which is what I'm doing. So last month I got a curated collection of seed beads that were Miyuki Rocaille, and this month I got 11O Delicas, and I love it. Oh my goodness, you guys, I was starting to set up for the video when I unboxed, and the color palette of this month and the quality of these seed beads, I started designing right away. So I'm going to show you what's in the collection, and then we're going to do 2 projects, and I've already designed 2 more. I mean, I just love getting these. I pull seed beads out into a project tray before I start anything, pretty much. Almost every design. It can act as a great spacer. Seed beads can extend the length of a strand of beads if you need it to be longer than what it is. You can stretch it out by putting seed beads in between. They're just so wonderful. So this month's club is, as I said, the 11O Delicas, and for me, that is my favorite seed bead to use for peyote stitch. So I did this some time back. This is a peyote stitch cylinder bead pendant and earring. I put my interchangeable lever back ear wires on this. You can do the peyote stitch with Rocaille and other beads, but a Delica, if you're new to seed beads, is like a little tiny cylinder, and they're very uniform, and for this stitch they just do an amazing thing. So that's what I really love to do with Delica beads, is peyote stitch, and particularly I love to make my own beaded beads. It's one of my favorite things to do. I do, whoops, come back little guy. I do like this kind of a thing, like a beaded bead design, and I'll do, cylinder beads and things to add into my other designs. So I just wanted to share that with you. That is not what I'm doing today. However, this is Mountain Heather is the name of this curated collection, and I'm just going to go through and show you what is here. I put them all in this little dish, and I have started making components for my project, so you'll be able to see what they look like when you're actually working with them. But the first one is my favorite in the whole box. It is called Fuchsia Lined Crystal Luster. And like I said, the colors in these beads and the quality is just unmatched. The next one is a Sparkle Amethyst, and it is blue, light blue lined. Look at that. Isn't it gorgeous? And the next one is this matte transparent azure blue, azzurro in Italian. It's so beautiful. What's really beautiful is all of them together, but each individually they are beautiful too. And then there's a dyed opaque red violet. I am crazy about that one. That's what that looks like. And this is the coolest color. This is an opaque smoke luster, so it's not quite like hematite. It's, oh gosh, it's not gunmetal. It's like really, really unique, just really unique. Let me just come up a little bit closer to the camera. I hope you can see it, but isn't that cool? It's silvery, but I don't know, it almost looks metallic. It's really, really beautiful. And then there were two greens in the collection this month. There's the Duracoat Opaque Spruce, which is beautiful. And then this is the one that I've been using in my project. It's Frost Opaque Glaze Rainbow Green. And I don't know if you can see the rainbow in it, but it's a really amazing for a little 11-0 seed bead. The colors that appear in this tiny little bead are amazing, and when you work with it and put it in a project, even more so. And then look at this one, you guys. This is an opaque smoke gray luster. These two together are just stunning, but all of these together, I even considered, like, what I did for this little project here is I chose a few beads and just put them on my mat and mixed them up. So I kind of made my own mix to just pick up randomly in my pattern, and these would be gorgeous for that. But what you see here is a little sneak peek of the project that I'm going to do today. So these are so cool and organized. They come with the code on the little flip top boxes. It's super organized. I am so excited to be getting a seed bead subscription every month. And if you're interested in this, it's very reasonably priced. There's at least a 10% discount when you subscribe from off of the retail prices. And to get a collection every month where everything goes together instead of plunking around, buying things at random, I just love this. I love how highly organized the beads come to you. So I'm just going to set these aside and make a little space and show you what I have started here. I am making the sweetest, cutest little beaded chain out of those 11-0 seed beads. It's very fluid and it is just lovely. And I've taken that same chain and designed an earring. So I took like a couple of pieces of my chain and I had these flowers from another bead box this month. These are from our bargain bead box for the month of February, and they are absolutely perfect for the Mountain Heather seed bead collection. And so I am going to turn this. I took a couple of those little flowers and I even made a kind of movable, interactive little component by taking a jump ring and threading on some of the seed beads. So when this is attached in my bracelet, I have a little bit of the seed beads moving around this component. I have been using these gold-filled 6mm jump rings. They're really high quality, and I'm just going to show you what I've been doing. So for my bracelet, I'm going to need to attach this little component that I made with a jump ring to this end. And so this is super simple. And as soon as I do, I'll show you, as soon as I get this attached, I'll show you how easy these components are. I do them with the one-step looper so that I don't have to measure. And I'm counting the seed beads. I put 12 on each component. So I'm just putting a jump ring through the two simple loops. I'm gonna close this really well, and then what I want to do is make another two of these little rings. I made like my own spacer bead, I guess is what I meant to say. I basically made my own spacer bead. So I'm going to show you what I use, because it takes away anything that might be tedious in stringing. I have this little tray. They come in a set of two. There's a really large one for bigger projects. I adore this. It's made seed beading so relaxing and comfortable. You can unscrew this and pour your seed beads anywhere back into your jar or whatever when you're ready to clean up. And these are my little wires that are all pre-cut for my components. But I'm going to start out with what I did on this ring. I did some of these beautiful purple ones and I alternated with the lighter blue, because those were the two colors that really accentuated that flower. And I'm going to just show you how easy it is to string from this. Now, this part, making the jump ring, is maybe a little tedious for some of you. I don't mind it. I just get my jump ring open and open it kind of wide so that I'm not struggling. And then this little tray really helps me to get my beads on. So what I did is 2 of the blue, 2 of the lavender, and then 2 of the blue. And like I said, this might be tedious for some of you, but I find that with my pliers and just being patient and like being able to pick up from this little tray, that I did okay. And I only had to make 3 of them, 1 for the center of this component and then 2 that are going to be connectors. So just take your time. I mean, you could do a plain jump ring for sure, but the seed beads in this collection are so gorgeous, and I wanted to, you know, to embellish further with them. So I'm just like moving them around this little jump ring, and I got 8 on here. I usually do this technique with like an 8/0 or a 6/0 seed bead and a larger jump ring to, you know, to embellish something further. But I really love these, and I'm stubborn. I want to make it happen. So one thing I do when I'm doing tedious work like this, I'm going to just reach over into my work cart, is I'll switch to my Xuron crimping plier, because the tip of this is so very small, and in order to get a hold of this, in fact, you can even push it with your finger a little bit to make sure you don't lose your seed beads. And so now that I have it threaded, I'm going to make a tiny little bit of space because it's going to be a connector, and add this right here. And now I'm going to close it back, and then I have to connect it to the rest of my chain. So I'm going to do that by opening the other jump ring, because, you know, the seed beads are on this one, obviously. But it's so pretty. It's really a cool little connector. And then I'm going to come to this one and open this one. And I'm using these high quality gold filled jump rings for because I am so excited about this project. So sometimes when I really love beads, or when a project just really speaks to me, or it's my style and it's not just for video purposes, I will up my game a little bit. So look at that. Isn't it so pretty? Now, I was also thinking, if this is too tedious for you to put 11/0 Delicas onto a jump ring, that you could also accomplish this little spacer ring with like some monofilament and tie a knot and have your little spacer. But I quite like the structure of the jump ring being there. So I have one more to do. So my little beaded components are added in, and now I'm going to need let's see, what color do I want? My last little section for my bracelet needs to be a blue and a pink. So I have those made here, and then I'm going to show you how I made the components very, very easy without measuring. And I have a lot made here because I have to make a total of 4 for the earrings, but I am doing a whole nother project with this same technique. This is like the sweetest chain. I just love it. So I'm just going to take another one of my gold filled jump rings, and this is basically simple connecting. So I'm going to go through my embellished jump ring, and then I'm going to, let's see, I want the blue one to be on this side, and I want the pink one to be on this side. And I'm just going to close that really well. I'm going to use one of these little magnetic clasps that looks a little bit like a gold coin. It's like a little coin or button shaped clasp, but I'm going to take off these come with a lobster claw clasp and an open end, but I'm going to take that off because I don't need that extra closure. I just want the simple magnetic clasp, and I'm just going to attach this to the end of my both ends of my bracelet. Look at that, it's so sweet. I love these little clasps. They have like a groove inside, and so when it clasps, you can pull it as hard as you want this way, but because the magnets are, you know, kind of in the center and the groove holds it in place. So look at this beautiful little bracelet. Look at that. It's so easy to put on and off. The magnet finds itself. I just absolutely love this little design. I have a little like handmade bracelet bar or focal on this, and I just love them. I love everything about it. And as I said, I have 2 more projects coming with this same technique. So look how cute that is with the earrings. Oh, I want to put, I made this little drop, and all of them are the same. The ones that I did for the earrings and the one that I'm doing for the bracelet are the same. So I'm just going to come with, let's see, one of my jump rings, and I am going to attach this jump ring over the whole circumference of 2 of the bars. So right here, I'm going to put my jump ring around both of the bars. So as you can see, it's going to slide up and down, but let me attach my flower with my little leaf, and I'll show you what else is cool about attaching it this way. Okay, close it really well. So now not only does my flower charm move up and down on this link of my chain, but also no matter which way I pick my bracelet up to put it on, this flower goes 360 degrees around, so the charm will never be stuck or kinked. And I just love that. It's one of my little tricks in connecting, but look at this sweet little bracelet. So to me, this is interactive. This little seed bead covered jump ring is interactive because I wire wrapped the flowers here, but this spins around. So like, this is the sweetest. Look at that little chain bracelet. Oh my, it makes me so happy. Okay, let me show you how I did the components. They are super easy. For this, for the earring, I want to do exactly the same thing. So on the bottom, I'm going to have a purple and a blue, and on the top, I'm going to have one of the fuchsia pinks, and then I need to make a light blue. So where are here's my little things. Now I took about 1.25 inches of wire, and then I just used my first measurement of wire. So I cut a whole bunch of them at one time because obviously to make a chain, you're going to need to sit and make some components, but they're super easy and I really love doing it. And as I said, I am working on a whole nother project and I'm going to need more links. So I'm going to take this one, and I've been using my 1.5 millimeter one-step looper. And when you don't have any beads on wire, you can put your wire just past this back jaw of the tool, and it makes a fresh blunt cut there and then wraps your loop. So this way, without measuring, all my loops for my chain are exactly the same, totally consistent. And also, just before I go on, if you put your wire flat against this back plate, you get a really nice loop. So there's that tiny little cut because it makes a blunt cut for me. It'll make the loop, but now I can see that my wire is going up. I want to pull it down so that loop is now centered on my wire. And here, it's really important for this project that everything be really straight. So if it weren't straight, you could grab your nylon jaw pliers, you know, and straighten it. I mean, I straightened everything before when I was cutting, but when I take my tool away, I have this really perfect loop. And for me, I will, especially because I am loading on 11 seed beads, I will put my pliers to the loop anyway, and I like to open and close with a little bit of force to work harden and also make sure it's actually touching this part of the wire. And then I'm just going to count 12 seed beads. That is what my sweet spot for my length of my links. I can't talk. And then incredibly enough, this is 20 gauge wire, and let me just show you, this is my Softflex 20 gauge wire, and it has an anti-tarnish coating on it. I love this wire, and incredibly, this is counterintuitive, but these 11.0 Delicas slide right onto 20 gauge wire, so it gives you a really nice strong component. So let me stop talking and count. That's 4. I just happened to put exactly 12 in my little seed bead tray here, but they slide right on effortlessly. And as you can see, when I discovered these trays, I love this because it makes stringing, well, any seed beads, not tedious at all. But isn't that cool? I mean, it's incredible that those Delicas slide right onto a 20 gauge piece of wire. I'm fascinated by that. And you can kind of check to see if you counted right. And then I'm going to repeat the same thing. And here's where I said you don't have to measure, because once again I'm going to come in as long as my wire is past the back jaw of the tool, just a tiny bit. I'm going to close it slightly here, just gently, so that this is held into place and I can see that I'm in position, and also that I'm not breaking any of my Delicas, and let it make that little cut, tiny little fresh cut that it does. And before I finish closing all the way, I'm going to pull my component down, and that way I can see that I am not crushing my seed beads or hurting them at all. And then here, if it looks like my loop got misaligned a little bit while it's still in the tool, I can fix that. And you know, I'm getting as close as I can because this is a chain link that I'm actually making. So I'm getting as close as I can to my seed beads, but look, it makes this perfect little link, and it's exactly the same as all my other links. You know, my loops are exactly the same. I mean, letting the tools do the work for me. So I just love that. And now this is again a simple connecting project, just like we did for the chain. I really just made a little sections of chain here to turn into earrings. And I'll go ahead and close this. Let me see, where's my ear wire? I have my things over here. I can add this ear wire right on since I have it here. I'm gonna make sure that loop is closed really well on my ear wire too. And just continue connecting in the same way. Another jump ring. Open it and just make sure you don't twist your links that you made. Make sure they're lined up. You can see if they're hanging properly. And then the other two. And so now I am so dyslexic, you guys. I can't look at that upside down and decide which way I have to connect. It's terrible, but everything is reversed in my eyes, and I really struggle with that. So let's see. I'm doing a mirror image. So I'm going to thread my light purple and then my dark purple and close this really well. And now I put my last jump ring, and so let me just hold these up and make sure I've connected it right. As I said, I struggle with dyslexia. Sometimes you'll see me turning my pliers. I mirrored them, which is something I like to do. And I'm also going to mirror when I wire wrap my flower drop. I'm going to have the leaf going on this side. You don't have to do it. It's not wrong to make them identical, but when I can in a design, for some reason that looks really good to me, especially when it's on my face. It's almost like it frames the face. Okay, and I'm not going to close this because I am wire wrapping my loop at the top of my flower charm. Just get it through. Just get it through there. and lay it here, and it is waiting. So now this is a simple wire wrapped loop, a little stack. I just put one of those little beautiful flowers, and then I have this little hematite gold plated spacer bead, and then my leaf. And let's see, there is a top and a bottom to this. It's going to go just like that. And when I'm all done, I will make sure that this leaf is on this side. So it's just reversed. Let me make sure that I'm doing it right. Make sure everything's laying straight. Yes, just like that. And so my loop on this, your orientation of your loops does matter. I need it to be going perpendicular to my mat. So I'm going to do the bend, the 90-degree bend from the front to the back. So I'm just going to get a hold of it right there and give it a 90-degree bend. And come in with my round nose pliers. I'm going to make this a really small wrapped loop. Bring that over the top. My ball head pins are really, really fine, and they are perfect for work like this. I think these might be like 24 gauge or maybe 22 gauge. I'm actually not sure, but they're really fine. And so they are really pretty for a drop like this. But I do need to take a little extra time when I wrap, and I'll use my Xuron crimping pliers again to tuck this wire, because I want my flower and my leaf to be facing forward on my earring. So because this is so fine, I just have to get a hold of it and like be the boss of it, make it go where I want it to go. Okay, my little drop is done, and this jump ring is open and ready for it. Just slide that on. And close it really well. And this little earring is done, and so is my bracelet. And I have to tell you guys, I could not be more excited. Let me clean up a little bit here. I could not be more thrilled and happy as I am with this project. This is so beautiful for spring, and I love this delicate chain. I love the whole thing. I love the bracelet. I love the whole thing. It's so beautiful, and I kind of feel like I want to show you a sneak peek of what I am doing in the next project, but I think I'm gonna wait and put it. I'm so excited. I actually stopped making components for this one and did my next piece, but it's so cute, you guys. It is like the world's funkiest, easiest beaded bead. Okay, I will show you a sneak peek because I'm too excited about it. It's like the world's funkiest beaded bead, and this is going to go into my necklace project. So I will be back with another video. I'm going to make some more of these components and show you this really cool necklace in my next video. So don't forget to check the description box, and if you're interested in receiving a beautiful curated seed bead collection or gemstone collection, I don't know what I'm getting next month, but I am rotating because I could not decide on the club that I wanted from them, so I am rotating. But if you're interested, it really helps my channel if you use my link. It doesn't change the prices or do anything to you, but it really does help my channel. And don't forget to tap the bell notification and subscribe and thumbs up and all the things, because when I come back to create the rest of this suite of jewelry, you won't miss the notification. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.